All right, so welcome everybody. This is the Zen meeting for the Dharmabumtemple. There's another meeting downstairs called our Recovery Dharma meeting. It's part of our Recovery Sangha. So just want to make sure everybody's in the right place. I've had people kind of attend the wrong one, and they'll realize like halfway through. Yeah, it's really good downstairs as well. And there's lots of recovery kind of opportunities or recovery kind of meeting opportunities here at the Dharmabumtemple that we really are grateful to host and everything. So tonight, this meeting is about Zen and meditation. And I guess who all's this your first time maybe at the Zen meeting? Your first time? And it's your first time at Dharmabumtemple?
No, I've come to the Saturday meeting.
Okay, cool. And it's your first time at Dharmabumtemple too? Okay, cool. Hey, Art. So yeah, the Zen meeting. Yeah, so we're gonna meditate a lot tonight, and I'm gonna give a little bit of instruction on how to do that, kind of on the mats here on the pillows as well, and then also within the pews and the chairs. So if you're comfortable meditating where you are, just stay there. It's great, and you can shift at any point in time as well. So to kind of get started on that, I'll also be talking about just a little bit of stuff from these books I'm reading, and I'm going to plug the books a little bit because I think they're super great resources for this type of stuff. But yeah, so for the structure of the meeting today, we'll meditate for like 15 to 18 minutes at first, and then there will be kind of like maybe a 10-minute break in order to facilitate some more reading, and then a question and answer kind of phase. And then we'll kind of wrap things up meditating for a shorter amount of time. So it's an opportunity to kind of like practice a lot of seated meditation, zazen, shikantaza, all the same thing. And yeah, I really enjoy this practice a lot, and it's really great to kind of actually be up here and actually just meditate a lot with everybody. So this space is really cool, and yeah, it's great to have y'all here. So I think with zazen practice, seated meditation practice, comfort and posture are super important techniques. And everything I really say is mostly a suggestion. I think the kind of methods for sitting and everything they're so various, and they all kind of like lead to the same place that it's kind of just finding whatever works for yourself and everything. So if you're on a cushion, kind of aim to sit on the front third of it, and allow the back to straighten up with ease. And there's a lot of different ways to fold the legs. So I'm folding in like a Burmese posture, which is helping me kind of put my knees on the ground. And then it's possible to do like a full lotus, and then everything that's not full lotus is half lotus. And then, yeah, mainly for kind of seating on the cushions and everything, the main thing we want to do is kind of work on having our back straight, and a good kind of barometer for all of that is to have like your ears over your shoulders and your nose kind of like over your navel. And you don't want to be strained, like arched or anything, definitely not hunched over. And with the seated kind of seats and everything, so you can follow that same methodology. So having your feet flat on the ground is kind of the same thing as having your knees maybe on the floor, and then that kind of creates this nice triangle of stability. And you want to definitely focus on having like a straight back. If you can, maybe like not use the support of the seat, that would be ideal, but I totally get if you want to lean back on the seat, especially if you have any issues with like any medical problems or anything. And yeah, with all that said, I think there's something magical about the this kind of like upright posture. I think I remember being young and kind of having my parents always like emphasize good posture, especially at the dinner table, and I resented it for a really long time. And it was kind of interesting, like reading this material, and almost every time you pick up a Zen book, like a new book, the intro or maybe the first few chapters like emphasize posture so much. And yeah, that's actually kind of one of the parts that I was going to read in this book right here. I don't know if I can find the page. Here it is. So yeah, it's this is a passage from the Zen Mind Beginner's Mind book by Shunryu Suzuki. He started the San Francisco Zen Center in the 50s and 60s, parallel to the beat movement. It's very cool. There's a lot of history there. And yeah, he says that the most important thing in taking the zazen posture is to keep your spine straight. Your ears and shoulders should be in one line. Relax your shoulders and push towards the ceiling with the back of your head. And you should pull your chin in. When your chin is tilted up, you have no strength in your posture. You are probably dreaming. Also, to gain strength in your posture, press your diaphragm down towards your hara or lower abdomen. This will help you maintain your physical and mental balance. When you try to keep this posture, at first you may find some difficulty breathing naturally, but when you get accustomed to it, you'll be able to breathe naturally and deeply. So yeah, kind of a little bit of the same thing that I'm instructing on, and I guess with posture, and then a couple other things. If you want to put your hands into a mudra, I think the traditional Zen mudra is this cosmic mudra. So you can kind of go one hand in the other like this, and then you kind of gently create an oval. And it's called the cosmic mudra or zazen mudra. Sometimes I don't really actually like this one because it's not very symmetrical. So I kind of just do this and it feels a lot better. But I also put my hands on my lap sometimes. Main thing there is just kind of commit to it, maybe like put your hands for 5 minutes in one place and, just try and focus on the breathing, focus on the posture. And yeah, one last thing before we kind of dive into this first meditation is this other book that I've been reading a lot of. It Came from Beyond Zen by Brad Warner. He's like a Zen practitioner as well. He's kind of analyzing the founder of the Soto Zen school, Eihei Dogen, a lot. He breaks down these ancient texts called the Shobo Genzo, and he I couldn't find this quote because it's books and you can't just search anymore for things like that, or you can't search in a book and just type it in, and you gotta like read everything, and I was really struggling to find it. But he has this really poignant comment about the Dogen instruction on Zen, which is he doesn't really say much about what we're supposed to think. And I'll talk a little bit about that in like our little middle kind of talk as well. But he gives a lot of instruction, like I just did, about the posture, about where to put your hands, and about kind of how to sit. And I think he kind of does that to kind of create this like freestyle kind of thing. And the emphasis is to really just like focus on those aspects of this practice and not really worry too much about what you're thinking. And yeah, if you really do want to kind of focus on something beyond that, I think the breath is a really great area to focus. So I recommend just kind of breaths of 3 and everything, and maybe try to breathe as quietly as you can, because that'll like slow down your breath. And the counting breath practice is a very advanced kind of breath practice as well. So counting your breaths until you kind of do a cycle of like 10 or something, and then starting over is really a good practice. So I think I've talked enough, and I'll ring the bell 3 times to kind of initiate this, and then ring it 3 times after we've meditated enough to get us out. And then we'll do a little bit more reading in the middle, and then some discussion as well. Cool. So, that's like our first meditation, and I hope that was enjoyable for everybody. I definitely come in here with a lot of nerves, and then find it really relaxing actually to just kind of do the meditation as well. So, yeah, kind of getting more to this reading and everything. My name's Cory, by the way. I've been coming to the Dharmabumtemple for about a year and a half, I think now, and had some experiences as well in Northern California at the San Francisco Zen Center, which were really great. And yeah, I one of the things that I found through them is this book Beyond Thinking, which is a guide to Zen meditation, and it's from what I know about it, it's like a lot of translations of what I was talking about earlier, which is the Shobo Genzo, which is a really kind of elaborate text about Buddhism and Zen and all sorts of like meditation technique and everything. So it's worth diving into, I think, and really just being humbled by. And if you're looking forward to getting confused, definitely reading that. And it's really interesting because so this in this book, I came for Beyond Zen. I learned that there's a long period of time where like the Shobo Genzo was not accessible, and it was not widely published at all because it was just sort of this text that was referenced in like Zen temples in Japan. And I think in the 1800s, as Japan was like opening up to the world, the people who were kind of just like wanting to promote Japanese culture at the time thought, okay, how do we promote Japan? Like, what exactly should represent us? And immediately everybody was thinking that it should be, everybody should know about Eihei Dogen and the Shobo Genzo. And so they started translating the text into English and, kind of promoting it. And so it was more common, I think, recently, or it has become more common recently to actually have these. And there's just wild stuff in the text that is really kind of exciting. And I thought I'd just read a little bit of this. But so having adjusted your body in this manner, meaning in the zazen manner, take a breath and exhale fully. Then sway your body to left. Now sit steadfastly and think, not thinking. How do you think not thinking? Beyond thinking. This is the essential art of zazen. The zazen I speak of is not learning meditation. It is simply the Dharma gate of enjoyment and ease, or bliss and repose, I've heard as well. It is the practice realization of complete enlightenment. Realize the fundamental point, free from the binding of nets and baskets. Once you experience it, you're like a dragon swimming in the water or a tiger reposing in the mountains. Know that the true Dharma emerges of itself, clearing away hindrances and distractions. And there's one more. So jump around a little bit. Set aside all involvements and let the myriad things rest. Zazen is not thinking of good, not thinking of bad. It is not conscious endeavor. It is not introspection. Do not desire to become a Buddha. Let sitting or lying down drop away. Be moderate in eating and drinking, mindful of the passing of time. Engage yourself in zazen. But yeah, so I was actually kind of scrambling a lot today, trying to think of the quotes to pull from all these books, because I thought like, oh, I can like find a map of it all and it'll be really great. And then I was really getting frustrated because it wasn't really lining up. And then I was kind of leading. This was me reading books and everything, and kind of leading into this meditation that I did earlier. And then as soon as I was sitting and kind of meditating as well, it just, dawned on me like this kind of how the practice like ties in as well to this study. And it can be very complementary to it all, and really relaxing as well. And kind of just sort of witnessing this, this practice as you're practicing it is something that I like kind of felt today. And it was a weird sensation of like really getting frustrated with the text and then just diving into it and just believing in it. And it like was very helpful. And even earlier when I was like kind of introducing this whole thing and then we're meditating together, it's like I'm immediately like just relaxing back into the moment. But yeah, that's my spiel of all these books and plugs and stuff. And so if you if you're interested in any of this, we have a really great library, and it's there's lots of different kind of Buddhist text in the library, and lots of Zen text as well, even Rinzai Zen. And I mean, the stuff that I'm talking about is basically mainly Soto Zen text, but they're all very much like kind of weaving in and out of each other, so they play nicely together, I think. And yeah, I think with that, I'll open it up for any questions or comments that y'all have about the meditation, or if you have any questions about meditation in general, or Buddhism in general, I can try and answer those. And yeah, we'll give this about like, I'd say 10 minutes before we kind of do the second meditation and then the closing procedures. Hey.
I'm kind of new to Zen. I've been practicing for 2 months, and so far it's been easy to come back to when the mind wanders, to bring it back to the breath. Like counting or following the breath.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to do zazen, just sitting, right? So when the mind wanders, I don't have anything to lean on. How to bring the mind. So I guess it's. If you're not really following the breath or counting, how do you keep?
How do I keep
like coming back to the when the mind wanders?
Yeah, I mean, I think the breath really helps. And if it's not working, sometimes I start with my eyes closed, actually. And I think part of this practice is to eventually open your eyes. And it's an interesting sensation because like also sometimes like feel like I'm floating away or even falling down, and I open the eyes just to kind of be present in the room and everything. But I think that this practice is really powerful because it's kind of an awareness of like the present moment. And sometimes that awareness is just being aware of the racing mind and being aware of like kind of your current state. And it doesn't always result in the same thing every time. It kind of, sometimes I can come into a meditation and I'm pure chaos, and then leave it and then things are still chaotic. And it's like, it's not a failure. I think it's more of a, kind of just a chance to really check in and be present. Is that helpful?
Yeah. It's just that I was reading Dogen, and he said like when you're sitting, not even the breath, just sitting.
Yeah.
So that was for me like mind blowing, because it's like I'm sitting, but I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting into the posture, I've said this a lot, but I think getting into the posture is 99% of the way there. And whatever happens after that, it's like splitting hairs at that point. And, there's in the instruction about, not thinking and thinking, not thinking, and trying to get beyond thinking. And that's so confusing. And I think it's meant to be confusing because it's really hard to explain like what's going on there. But I think the value of it all is the awareness. What's your name? Uriel. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Yeah, if anybody online as well has any questions, please feel free to drop them in in the chat. We're broadcasting, by the way. This is kind of something a little bit different that I'm still getting used to. I guess if there's no questions or anything, we can dive into this second meditation session, which I think is actually pretty cool because it'll give us almost about the same amount of time as the first one. But one of my favorite parts about this particular kind of like meditation class here on Monday nights is that for me, when I'm kind of participating in it, not leading, I get this interesting sensation of realizing that there's something different about the second meditation, and I have not figured out what is the explanation for it. So I think if you're able to and notice that difference, maybe kind of I don't know, just think about that and kind of help me figure out what's the cause of it all. But yeah, I'll have like an opportunity for maybe a closing comment before we do our kind of closing procedures later on. But yeah, we'll kind of guide us in here. Cool. So, yeah, I guess, did anybody figure out my problem?
I think the first meditation is opening the door, and the second one is being in the room.
That's neat. Yeah. I was kind of thinking something along the lines of maybe it's like a primer, how it kind of breaks the ice, and then, but it's like, it's so funny to think more and more about it, because it's like so close together, same rooms, almost the same time. And maybe it's just that big of a deal to kind of like settle down first and then talk a little bit, socialize, and then, do another one that it makes that big of a difference. But yeah, thanks.
Maybe it's because they're so close together. That's why the second one's easier, which makes a really good argument for why you should have a regular practice daily.
Yeah, definitely. So before we do kind of like our closing process with Meredith, our host tonight, if you're comfortable, please bring your hands to heart center, and we'll do the dedication of merit. So may any merit gained from this practice be transferred and of benefit to all beings in all directions, and may all beings be at peace. May all be free from suffering. So Meredith, if you want to come up and close us out. Thanks for keeping us safe tonight as well.
Watching you from the back of the room. Hi everybody, I'm tonight's host Meredith. We opened the Dharmabumtemple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They're simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and just bring it back whenever you're done with it. If you please straighten your seat or cushion before you head out, and if you want to lock a window or two, that'd be great. Thank you for being here. We wish you well, and we hope to see you all again soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.